This is the TOTM MRE. That's Tailored Operational Training Meal, made by the Warnick Company out of Cincinnati, Ohio. It says U.S. government property. Commercial resale is unlawful. There's a couple soldiers there. It says train as we fight. It says peelable seal. This is the chili and macaroni menu. It's a macaroni and beef sauce. This one says it expires on November 6, 2021. I don't know who wrote that on there, so I don't know if that's true, but we're going to cut it open and find out what's inside of it anyway, so hopefully there's something good. First up, we got tortillas, chipotle. There's 2 of them in there, 220 calories. Next is the flameless ration heater. I've never used one of these, so this ought to be fun. We'll oxidize a little magnesium in my living room. I'll put on the back. Beverage base powder, tropical punch, natural and artificial flavors. There's a 34-gram pouch of that. Comes in 120 calories. Next is peanuts, dry roasted, salted. It's a 28-gram pouch of those at 160 calories. Ooh, here we've got a 60-gram chocolate chip cookie coming in at 300 calories. I bet if you were a soldier out in the field and you got this in your MRE, you'd be pretty happy about it. This is the main. It says chili and macaroni on there, probably some date coats. And this is a sleeve to help heat the main course evenly. And of course the accessory packet with some coffee, salt and pepper, napkin, spoon. We'll open that up and see what's in there too. First thing in here is a military plastic spoon. That's nice and rigid. We got a little S&P. The sugar for the coffee. Speaking of the coffee, we got Bill's Brew freeze-dried coffee. I'm not much of a coffee drinker, so we're going to use all of the cream and sugar. There's a moist towelette, very patriotic. And of course the creamer, Nestle's Coffee Mate Classic. And just a regular old napkin. Let's make some coffee. First we're going to add 6 ounces of hot water. Then let's add our freeze-dried coffee. It comes out a little chunkier than you would expect. Let's give it a stir. Let's try this out all on its own. Yeah, that's instant coffee. Let's add the cream and sugar and give it another go. And we're making a mess. Let's give this one last stir. That's way better. That's like a typical American household cup of coffee right there. And now for that beverage base. We're going to add about 12 ounces of cold water. And give it a stir. That's actually pretty good. It reminds me of a candy called Now and Later, so they're like knockoff Starburst. Let's check out the peanuts. Peanuts, dry roasted, salted. I want to note that I do not have a tray to get these out onto, but we will be getting them out onto a plate. Let's open them up. Yeah. Those are peanuts. Let's open this chocolate chip cookie up and see what's what. Wow, this thing is in pristine condition. It's not cracked or broken. Let's see what we can do about that. It's just like a Chips Ahoy cookie, nice and crunchy. You know, if you were overseas or stuck out in the woods or something, this would be a hot commodity. Let's slide off this FRH. It's got the instructions there on the front. And we're going to start by tearing the top off. And you put the meal packet in the bag. Then we're going to add water until the water level is between the two lines at the bottom of the bag. And we're going to fold the top over and stuff it into the cardboard sleeve. We're going to let that heat for about 15 minutes, and we're going to lean it up against something. Tuck that corner in. You may notice a little pressure build up inside the bag. That's perfectly normal, and that's exactly what you want. That'll help the meal heat evenly. Let's add the main course to the rest of our food and make a complete meal. For the main course, our chili and macaroni. This thing is screaming hot. It's still sizzling. First impressions. It actually tastes like chili, surprisingly. You'd think it would taste like hamburger helper. It looks like hamburger helper, but it tastes like chili. Interesting. Let's give that another pass. Oh yeah, that would be extremely satisfying if you were in a pinch and needed a meal. Came across one of these. Let's wash that down with a little now and layer juice. This is definitely a solid MRE. It's a lot better looking than some of the other ones I've seen out there. Now let's not forget our condiments. Let's go ahead and throw a little salt and pepper on there. Let's bring a couple tortillas into the mix. What's this, a little DescendAnd bag? I'm gonna go right ahead and make a taco out of one of these. Let's get a little crazy and throw some peanuts on there too. The chili mac taco. That's actually really good. The peanuts had a really nice crunch to it. This would be a good snack even if you weren't starving. Even the tortilla by itself is fine. You could eat all these by themselves and they'd be fine. If you're on the run, didn't have time to stop and get food out and warm it up, you can just eat them right out of the package and keep going. Last but not least, our very patriotic alcohol wipe. You could use this to clean up after the meal, but I would imagine that if you were in a situation where you would need an MRE, you would probably use it for something like general hygiene or cleaning a wound or something like that. All in all, this was a really good MRE, and I'm going to have to get more of them and try some of the other menus. If you like this video or have suggestions for future ones, let me know in the comments. Until then, I'm out.